And we've taken all of the gold of Catherine. She's really friendly with us, and she's also giving us all of her luxuries. What a glorious situation we find ourselves in. Thank you very much, Catherine, for this. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Spiffing Brit, and today we're playing popular new release game, Sid Meier's Civilization 5, is what I would be saying if it was almost 10 years ago. And seeing as we are actually getting pretty close to the 10-year anniversary of Sid Meier's Civilization 5, it makes perfect sense for us to cover a lovely exploit which this game has, and has actually kind of flown relatively under the radar for quite a long time. Naturally, Sid Meier's Civilization 5 is a fantastic game. I have many fond memories of it, I'm sure you do as well, and of course, it's one of the greatest multiplayer strategy games the world has ever seen. Of course, excluding its very wonky netcode, meaning you'll be desyncing just about every 30 seconds. Also, there's no way to pause a game in multiplayer, so once you start playing, you're playing it for eternity. But who wouldn't want to play Civ 5 for eternity? So, what are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I'm going to be showing off a lovely glitch inside Civilization 5, which is going to allow you, the lovely ladies and gentlemen at home, to completely decimate the world's economy of Civ 5. That's right, no longer will you be struggling for money. Instead, you will become an economical mastermind who will be controlling the flow of just about everything in the game's world. If you want a war to happen, it will at the snap of your fingers. If you want to bankrupt a rival nation, you can, at just a few simple clicks of one button. It's as fantastic as that, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's dive into Sid Meier's Civilization 5. And make sure you're sat back, relaxed, you have a nice warm cup of Yorkshire tea in hand, and you know what? If you are a truly fantastic individual, you might have even given the video a like. Let's dive right into Civ 5. My goodness, I love this game. So we're going to set up a brand new game of Civ 5, and whilst this exploit can be done with just about any nation in the entire game, we're going to pick one unique nation indeed, because I like a bit of an advanced challenge. We're going to be playing as Enrico Dandolo of Venice. Yep, that's the perfect pronunciation, and if I got it wrong, it doesn't matter because that's the new pronunciation of that name. So yes, we're playing as Venice. They're a very unique Civ in terms of Civ 5 because they can only ever build one city. Some would say that causes a bit of an issue, but actually it doesn't, because they get a ridiculous amount of money, and money is going to be the only thing that matters to us. What's better than having a ridiculous amount of money yourself? Well, that's making sure everyone around you has no money. Other than that, we're going to be playing on Prince level difficulty and on quick, and that's all we need, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's dive right into this brand new game. Oh, it's going to be good. You see, Venice is just all about money making. So when it comes to our fantastic game, we don't actually have too many requirements when it comes to settling your first city. If you don't get a decent city start, don't worry, it's not the end of the world, because you can always resettle elsewhere. We're going to found our city right here in its starting position because we have wheat nearby, but most importantly, we have 3 different types of luxuries. These luxuries are going to be very important. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. So let's settle our first city down. Oh, and a unit needs orders. Okay, right, let's just send our warrior off to go explore the world. Fantastic. Oh, we've actually discovered our first city-state who's hidden away over here. Good. Now, city-states are very useful if you're a Venice player because they are effectively infinite sources of money. Oh, and look, they've already given us 30 gold just for finding them. Fantastic. Now, Melbourne is a mercantile city-state over here, and if we were to ally with them, then we'd actually gain their luxury resources of porcelain and whales, which is always a lovely thing to have. Now, after you build your monument and you're starting to gain some culture, just focus on getting a worker up and running. In terms of research, we can probably actually rush the Great Library, because when playing against AIs, generally they don't, and so we're in a fine situation to get the Great Library out early. Oh, and we've also discovered the city-state of Prague, which is lovely. They've given us yet another boost of gold. Fantastic. For culture, we're going to go down the Liberty tree, because by gaining collective rule, we get a free Great Merchant, which is very important for us. Great Merchants are going to be a lovely source of money. Now, we've gained Niccolo Polo over here, who's a fantastic Great Merchant of Venice, and he's going to be really valuable. You see, we can put him down in any city-state's border, and immediately that city-state just becomes ours, which is, of course, as you can guess, a very powerful thing to have. Now, we won't be using him immediately because he's, as you can guess, very, very powerful, and so we'll be saving him for later on when we find a city-state which is well worth his investment. Oh, and bam, we've discovered optics and consequently gained our second Great Merchant, Gifhorst Castanio Barbaro. He's, you know, a pretty chill dude. And with these 2 great merchants, we could take over 2 of these city-states if we really wanted to. Yep, my game's just crashed. Right, I wasn't even exploiting it then. I was just Civ 5 being Civ 5. Thank you very much, game. That's very generous of you. It's nice to know 10 years after release, it's still as buggy as ever. It really does give you that fresh game feel when your game just crashes on you for no apparent reason. Thank you very much. Now we're back, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of time has passed after our last game crash. We've managed to finish off building the Great Library, and hey, we have 1 great merchant here. We're going to get a 2nd great merchant soon, don't you worry. As is often the case with most early game situations, it's just a lot of fighting off barbarians whilst I instead have my military force wander around the map discovering new lands, instead of protecting its own populace, because I mean, unless they pay a lot of taxes, they don't really matter, do they? Anyway, we've discovered the Aztecs, who are just a ridiculous war faction, but you know, that's fine. They're hopefully going to be relatively chill with us. Emphasis on the hopefully. Now, because we have a city-state over here which is really far away called Vilnius, which has access to 4 sets of horses, a bunch of furs, and some porcelain, we're going to attach a great merchant to a Venetian spearman over here who's going to march all the way across the world to find Vilnius and then steal its resources from it. And so our lovely great merchant arrives in the city of Vilnius, and we're going to buy out this city-state. It's going to be fantastic. Basically, we just puppet this city right on the spot, and now it's ours. Fantastic. Vilnius has been ceded to us. Now, it's not exactly a spectacular city in the best place in the entire known world, but it will be fantastic for us. Basically, we just need a city slightly further out of the way, which can get more trade routes sent to it. Because, I mean, we have 4 available trade routes. Already the Aztecs are trading with us, but I need more than just that. I need trade everywhere. And also to help with our fantastic empire and its trading, we've built the Great Lighthouse. Basically just means all naval units go a little bit further, which is pretty useful. Not that we'll particularly be doing much naval warfare or warfare full stop. I mean, you're playing Civ. Why would you want to actually fight in this game? Now, what we're doing at the moment is basically getting our empire up and running. We're starting trade with all of our lovely local city-states, and this is kind of just the beginning of our glorious empire. We basically just want to make as much money as possible, and for us the best way to make money is generally to meet players, but also just beeline a bunch of economy techs. And the only thing that's better than economy techs, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's rather interestingly a completely and utterly wacky tech, which is engineering, which allows us to build a fort. I know, forts are fantastic because they give you 1 extra defensible position on your terrain, which is always exceedingly useful to have. But there's another reason why you want to be able to construct forts, and that's because they are completely and utterly broken in this game. Now, one thing I have been beelining are a bunch of wonders which provide us with increased growth in our capital. That's because as Venice, you're only really allowed 1 city, and so you want that 1 city to have as large a population as physically allowable by this game's standards. So don't be afraid to pick up all of the wonders which don't particularly make sense for an economy civ. Oh my goodness, I get to pick a free great person. Oh, now this is great fun. Now, of course, merchants of Venice are always very, very useful because you can get a lot of money from them. Instead, I'm going to pick myself up a great profit because I'm pretty sure a religion we can get ourselves a little bit of extra money. So let's create a brand new religion. What wacky icon are we going for? Let's go for the bird boy. Oh, plus 15 influence for city-states following this religion. That's exactly what we want. That's lovely. Oh, and then each wonder provides plus 2 faith in this city. That's perfect because we're going to be spamming out a lot of wonders. Lovely stuff. There we go. We've got our religion up and running. Now, in terms of wonders which you 100% really should get, of course, it's the East India Company, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. It just gives you a silly amount of money, and that's exactly what you want. You want money. Lots and lots of money. Now, the issue with being on a continent with Montezuma is that he's very, very likely to invade you. And so the best way to get around this is to instead feed him money to just attack random city-states on your continent. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Because as we can see, he has a massive army marching towards our border. So instead, we just steer the entire army south. Now, you might be thinking this is pretty dangerous for us because later on it's just going to attack us. But don't worry, later on, oh, for goodness sake, it's attacked us now, hasn't it? God damn it, I hate you, Montezuma. We just had to start on the same continent which had him, didn't we? Oh yes, of course, the AI naturally moving its most valuable units into the sea, meaning I can snipe them with complete ease because in the water, units, they don't have much health. Oh, Montezuma, this has not gone your way at all, has it? Oh, what a mess. He really was thinking he could win this war, didn't he? Well, turns out you just can't sometimes. Well, I think this is it. We've actually defeated the Aztecs at war. How on earth that's happened, I have no idea, but this is just classic Aztec existence right here. They just go to war with you and then you just beans your way around the AI and they just can't do anything to stop you. Oh, AI. Right, let's negotiate peace. This is not the time for negotiation. Screw you, Aztecs. You and your garbage empire. You just threw your armies at the wall and they died. That means you shouldn't come back. Sometimes the AI is just too silly to really comprehend. Anyway, we're going to be adopting commerce because, of course, you know, we might as well. That's where we're going to be getting some lovely money from. And hopefully as soon as the Aztecs stop going to war with us and we find a new AI which is actually nicer, I can demonstrate this exploit, because instead, the silly little Aztec dude over here just wants to fight everyone. What a guy, I hate you. And there we go, fantastic. Montezuma is now perfectly up for peace. Now, what if I get him to give me some gold? There we go. Okay, just wants a straight peace treaty. Fine. Montezuma, I'll accept this, but just because I want to bankrupt your economy. Fantastic. We've made peace with Montezuma. Oh, and now he wants an embassy. Oh, sure, yeah, we'll just rebuild that embassy after you decided to just go to war with me, Montezuma. My goodness, the Aztecs. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and now Montezuma wants to actually start trading luxury resources. Well, no, we're going to refuse this because I'm waiting to find an AI who actually has money to trade with me. Because the issue with Montezuma, look at this guy. He's got no money. 1 gold per turn. And no thank you. I'm not trading with you. Come back once you have money. Now, in recent fantastic news, we've actually discovered the technology which allows us to build a unit which can go on the world's oceans and discover. So we've just purchased ourselves a caravel, and this caravel is going to now go and see the entire world for me, because I need to discover AIs who aren't super hyper aggressive military people who aren't producing any gold per turn. I mean, sure, we can pull off the exploit with them, but you just don't get anywhere near as much money. Oh, fantastic, we found Russia. Oh, finally. Please tell me they're making gold per turn. Oh, they're making gold per turn. Finally, an AI with an actual economy. Oh, Catherine, the pirates of Russia. You are exactly what I needed. Now let's get some open borders going. Fine, I'll give you a bunch of horses for open borders. That looks lovely. Oh my goodness, we got a brand new great profit. Lovely. So we can enhance our religion. Now we can do it plus 15% production, which is lovely. And also religious unity, so that religion spreads to city-states at a ridiculous speed. There we go. Bam. Oh, now we can get a bunch of trade routes established with all of the other AIs over here, which is exactly what I wanted. Spam, let's start spreading all of our religion into all of these different city-states. And with that, we're going to need to start buying up more cargo ships. Trust me, it's year of the cargo ship. So yes, just buy a very large amount of cargo ships and all send them off. And with this, we're going to make a lot more money. Oh, there we go. Fantastic stuff. All the money in the world will be ours. Bam, I've jumped into the midpoint of the video when you least expected me. That's right, it's myself, the Spiffing Brit, here to tell you about the glorious taste of Yorkshire tea. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it lovely? And you should be drinking it, or any form of tea, as long as your name's not Dave and you sat there drinking coffee, slamming away in the comment section like, all of this tea propaganda makes me upset. Then don't worry, you're more than welcome here. Oh, Dave, I know you're out there. There's thousands of you Daves watching. I know you're there. Make yourself known in the comment section if your name is Dave. Classic Dave coffee drinkers. But hey, I've got some good news for you though. Thanks to my lovely friends at the Yogscast, we have a brand new piece of merchandise. It is the secret to the YouTube algorithm. I know, guaranteed to get every single one of your videos on trending. Probably. It is a beautiful design proving that tea is the root of the YouTube algorithm. Trust me. If you want to do your part and demonstrate its power, simply sip on the cup of tea and like this video once. What does it do? It breaks the entire algorithm, and that's the true power of tea, ladies and gentlemen. So feel free to go grab yourself one. It's actually really comfortable. 10 out of 10. Would recommend again. Just try not to spill tea on it. You'd be surprised how many cloves I've lost to tea. Oh god, they all died too young. All my clothing, it's just got tea stains everywhere. Oh, except all of my fancy suits, of course. Anyway, let's jump right back into this video. So we're a fair bit later in the game, ladies and gentlemen, and I finally realized why all of the AIs were declining my request for a declaration of friendship. It's solely because an AI won't ever accept a declaration of friendship if you have a weak army, and as I was playing Venice and deliberately only beelining the economy, no AI is going to make friends with you because you're giving them metric tons of money. They only make friends with you if they are afraid of the size of your military. Ah, thanks Civ5 AI for being perfectly balanced, but hey, we're going to perfectly balance it even more in a second. So yes, we're going to make friends with Ashurbanipal of Assyria. That's fantastic. And so there we go, we have friends. That's lovely. Oh, and now Elizabeth is guarded against us. So we now have a fair amount of money in the bank, and we can go and start trading with Russia. Russia's making a pretty nice 116 gold per turn. We're making 154 gold per turn, but after this exploit, we're going to be making a fair bit more than that. So we're going to do 2 deals with Russia, ladies and gentlemen. That's all this exploit needs. 2 fantastic deals and 1 luxury resource. But don't worry, you're going to lose nothing from this exchange. Absolutely nothing. This is trading with the AI, but you can only profit. This is true art of the deal. Now, what you're going to want to do is quite simply ask for Russia's gold and just give them them a bunch of your gold in return. So I'm going to say I'll give Russia all of my gold, 758 for, let's say, 40 gold per turn. How does this look, Russia? Instead, Russia's not actually able to give us that much. They're only going to give us 25 gold per turn for 690 gold. And you know what? That's fine. That's pretty acceptable, Russia. I'm fine with giving you 690 gold for 25 gold per turn. Now, this might seem like the worst trade deal ever because we are giving them 690 gold and they are in return giving us 625 gold spread out over the course of 25 turns. So we're losing out on this deal, but there is a method to this madness. So we're going to accept this lovely deal. Thank you very much, Russia. They're going to love that deal. And then on the next turn, we're going to propose a brand new deal, one even wackier. Now remember, we're making 179 per turn, which isn't crazy, and we'd like a fair bit more. So we're going to go to Russia and we're going to say, hey Russia, I'm going to give you incense and also all of my gold per turn. Let's say a straight up 179 gold per turn, and in return, I'm going to need all of your money. I'm going to need every single bit of gold you have. 1,618 gold for 179 gold per turn for 25 turns, and incense as a luxury resource. To the AI, this is quite possibly the greatest deal in the entire known universe. I've proposed this to them, and they're even willing to throw in things like spices and iron and all of that, but actually, we don't want any of that stuff at all. If we were really cheeky and we had enough gold, and we were generating enough gold per turn, we could probably even take an entire city from the AI. That's not what we're going to do, sadly, but, you know, that's something you can pull off. Anyway, we're going to give all of our gold per turn to Russia, and in return, they're going to give us all of their gold, and we're going to give them incense. This is a terrible deal for the player, but trust me, it's absolutely fantastic. So we're going to hit propose with this deal, and Russia graciously accepts. Immediately you can see we've gained the 1,600 gold. There we go, it's up there, and we're no longer making gold per turn because we're giving so much of it to another civilization. But remember, as part of this deal, we are giving them 170 gold per turn plus incense. Now, where's our incense? Oh, well, it's here next to Venice, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, it's not at any threat of being raided by barbarians, but there is a Venetian worker standing on top of it who's accidentally slipped and hit the construct fort button. Are you sure you want to construct a fort? The tile improvement will be replaced. Oh, it's just been replaced, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the poor incense. Oh, what a shame. Who could have seen that happening? And as a result, gold per turn to Catherine ends and incense to Catherine ends because we don't have any incense to give. And we just constructed a fort. But you know what we can do? Just construct a plantation instead of the fort immediately. And that way, we finished the trade deal. We now have 2,000 gold, all of our gold per turn, and that means if we check our deal history and look at our current deals, they are giving us 25 gold per turn for the 690 gold we gave them. However, we then immediately got the 690 gold back when we cleared out all of their gold in their bank, so they are giving us 25 gold per turn in return for scamming them, plus also every single bit of cash they had lying around. So we are now receiving a portion of the income of Russia for free, which is very nice. And of course, this can be repeated. This can be repeated forever. It doesn't just need luxury resources, you can use strategic resources as well. But I do prefer luxury resources because they are good fun. Oh, and fantastic, Russia's so happy. This deal will strengthen our nations. Oh yes, and bond our friendship together. Sure, why not? You're so nice, Russia. And with all of this money, we can kind of do whatever we want. We can make friends with all of the city-states and win a diplomatic victory almost instantaneously. What on earth is this, Catherine? You want 5 gold per turn? No, this isn't a deal. There's no deal there if I'm just giving you gold per turn for nothing. So now a couple of turns later, we've proposed Catherine with another deal. For some reason, I offered all of my gold and said, hey, can I have 50 gold per turn? Is this deal okay with you? And she said, yes, this deal's okay with me. I'll also give you all of my luxury resources and strategic resources. And you know what? We're gonna do it, Catherine, because thank you very much. That will do nicely, won't it? So we now have no gold in our bank, which is, you know, a shame, but don't worry, we're still making 206 gold per turn thanks to Catherine now. And what we're now going to do is give Catherine 206 gold per turn, which is a ridiculous amount of gold, and ask for all of our gold back. There we go. I'd like all 2,694 gold back, and in return I'll give you 206 gold per turn and the incense. How does that work for you, Catherine? I must accept. Oh, that's very generous of you. So now we have all of our gold back, as well as the extra 100 or so which Catherine had, and we can once again repeat this exploit by just constructing a fort. There we go, bam, and next turn, we're bam. So naturally the next turn rolls around, and our gold per turn to Catherine ends. It collapses resources completely and utterly, simply because we're not able to provide the incense. And there we go. It is as easy as that, ladies and gentlemen. And we've taken all of the gold of Catherine. She's really friendly with us, and she's also giving us all of her luxuries. If you look at all of the happiness we're getting, +4 from furs, +4 from dyes, +4 from spices, +4 from wine. We shouldn't have access to these resources, but we do. Oh my goodness, it's fantastic. It really is. What a glorious situation we find ourselves in. Thank you very much, Catherine, for this. The thing is, we can repeat this because Catherine is still making 72 gold per turn, and I'm not going to stop until we get Catherine's income down to 0. So that's going to be the quest for today's video. And there we go. We've got our incense built. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Russia once again, and we're going to trade with them. Hey, can I have 60 gold per turn, please? That's all of your gold per turn. And in return, I'll give you some of my gold. Let's say 3,000 gold ought to be enough to win you over with this, surely. 1,657 is actually all I need. Wow. If I could probably start taking cities off you, couldn't I? Anyway, thank you very much, Russia. This is a lovely trade deal. Anyway, I'd like all 1,800 gold of yours, please. And in return, I will give you 300 gold per turn, as well as 1 incense. There we go. And there we go. She accepts the deal, and it's also a good deal as well, so she's very happy with it. And then, of course, immediately construct a fort, and now we are going to take over all of Russia's income, which is fantastic. There we go. The turn ticks over. We're building a fort. All of the deals end. We are now making 306 gold per turn. Russia, how much are you making? Just 17. Thank you for all of your money. Oh, you lovely thing. And now we have 4,000 gold, and of course in a couple of turns we're going to get the World's Congress, which means we can just completely cheese this entire thing. Of course, buying all of the love and friendship with the AI. So there we go. Kathmandu is now a close friend. We're going to also buy Melbourne for, say, 1,000. There we go. Now they're mega allies with us. And whilst we're at it, we'll also buy Prague for 1,000. There we go. We're allies with them too. And let's find another city-state. Oh, Jerusalem looks like they'll be friends with us. Need another 40 influence to bypass. Let's go for 1,000 with them. There we go. So there we go. Jerusalem is immediately on our side as well. What about, say, Ormus over here? Do you think Ormus would like to join? Let's give him 500 gold. There we go. We're nice friends with them. There we go. That would be a good start. Perfect. We are making silly amounts of money per turn. And even though I can see that good old Mazda Mundi over here is trying to invade us again, it matters little because I can just raise an army. And what's this? England is upset because of our relationship with Jerusalem. Come on, England. Just, I don't want to have caused a divide between myself and the royal family. Please, Queenie, love me. It's all I ever wanted. I'd gained wealth for your appeasement. That's all it is, trust me. Now, we have kind of hit the breaking point of the game because we've basically completely finished the commerce tree and the social policies, which grants us +2 happiness from each luxury resource, meaning our empire is now at +64 happiness. Yes, okay, basically we're never going to be sad again. And it's even better because we also gain +1 gold from every trading post, and also we can buy great merchants using faith. This is ridiculous because merchants of Venice allow me to just take over an entire bloody city, which, as you can guess, is pretty damn powerful. Now, in other fantastic news, we can complete this exploit again, but this time with the legendary Great Lord of Assyria, who has even more money, which is exactly what we want. You know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have furs. Oh dear, my friend. So what we can do is, of course, ask for a trade deal where we're going to try and get 40 gold, in return give over 800 gold. Does this work for you? I guess it kind of almost does. Here we go. Let us propose this. I'll ask for 38 gold instead. How's that? Propose. Nope, completely unacceptable. Wow. Right, I want 30 gold per turn. I'm giving you 800 gold. This is a good deal for you. Right, let's trade again. Now I would like to give you furs, and I would also like all of your gold, and in return I will give you, say, I think you'll only need about 200 gold per turn to want to take this deal. Is that looking good for you? There you go, let's propose that deal, and of course you graciously accept. Fantastic, that's exactly what I want, and I will immediately destroy our fur supply. There we go. Oh, and of course the deal fell through because the furs accidentally started getting turned into a fort instead. Well, what a shame. Anyway, it looks like we're just gonna have to trade again. What a real shame that is, my friend. So what we're going to do is we're also going to take over the city-state of Mombasa, but we're not going to actually buy it and puppet it. Instead, we're going to conduct a trade mission, as that's going to give us 1,876 gold, and it's also going to kind of put us into control of the city-state. We're going to sink 500 of that gold, and bam, now we're allies. There we go. That city-state is now under our control. Lovely stuff. Riga we can take control of as well for 1,000 gold. Bam, Riga's mine. Lovely, lovely stuff. Oh my goodness, and now you're going to give me a free deal where you just give me gold and gold per turn. Lovely stuff. That'll do nicely. I'm fantastic. The World Congress welcomes city-states now. This is where I get my true diplomatic power. So at the moment we now get 3 delegates for host civilization, and I get 1 delegate because of my city-state allies. Lovely stuff. And so because I'm allied with how many city-states? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 city-states in total. I can assign 10 to just choosing the next host. Lovely stuff. So I'm going to choose the next host to be Venice. Oh, and Venice is going to 100% become the next host because you guys are either going to vote for me, but you're never going to gang up and vote for someone else. So there we go. We've won the vote. This is true glorious democracy, like you've never seen it before. And of course, Venice wins. There we go. We've done it. Well, we were always going to win that, weren't we? Fantastic. Everyone voted for themselves. So yes, we win. Oh, and of course, Montezuma is invading us yet again. It's the 3rd time this game, ladies and gentlemen. Montezuma just wants to go to war. Well, it's gonna suck to be him because, yep, he's gonna lose this one. He does have gunpowder, but I have cannons on my side. And also I can just buy a metric ton of Langschgeducht. They're really cheap to buy, and I could genuinely buy about 30 of them or so now. And with them, I'd be able to completely overrun every single AI in the game. We've got more culture stuff to do, which is great. We'll go into rationalism. Lovely. More science. And I can upgrade to be a Gatling gun. Oh, I love this. This is going great. All right, let us send the Langschgeducht in, and oh my goodness, look at this lovely army they have trying to swarm us. This is exactly what I wanted. You see, we can just throw in hordes and hordes of dudes into minor defeats and so on, because eventually we'll just win completely. And we can buy musketmen too. Oh, this is great. We can have our own musket dudes. Actually, I just want cannons, just lots and lots of cannons, and then chod to keep the cannons slowed. Oh, we've bought Big Ben, which means all purchases are 15% cheaper. Oh, this is exactly what I wanted. This is lovely news for me. Even though I'm just plowing a bunch of men in which are never going to win, it matters little. Their lives aren't exactly too valuable, if I'm honest. Oh, this has just made the purchasing of armies ridiculously cheap, because Langschget are now just 90 gold. That's all they cost, 90 gold, and I can just throw him out here immediately to chase a cavalry dude down. Oh my goodness. We can just bog down enemy artillery with complete ease. Oh, this is everything I wanted and more. Oh, and yes, the Langschget swarm is now beginning. Oh, this is it. We've once again smashed his entire army, as is almost tradition for us every single time good old Montezuma goes to war with us. What an absolute melon. This guy has just no talent for warring whatsoever. Oh, and of course you want to do a peace treaty. Of course you now want to do a peace treaty. You're making minus 14 gold per turn, Montezuma, you absolute AI melon. Oh, and you want to go to peace with the entire world? Fine, accept this is peacetime. Oh, Montezuma, I absolutely dislike your existence. You are such a pain and annoyance. But you know what? If you want to go to war all the time, that's up to you. That's fine. I'll always support you. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've kind of just demonstrated the ridiculous power of this exploit, because it will allow you to get easy diplomatic victories by generating stupid amounts of gold and consequently buying the friendship with every single AI in the game. What we can now do with Montezuma is we can actually send him, instead of attacking us, we can give him a huge amount of gold and send him to just attack different AIs. Now, the AI we send him to attack won't particularly mind too much, and what this allows us to do is total through the entire game without having Montezuma declare war on us again. Not that it makes much of a difference, because as soon as he does, we can just mobilize an entire military in one turn to crush his entire army, and it doesn't really cost us that much in the long run. But equally, we can just generate stupid amounts of money from this lovely cheesy exploit, and it is a whole host of fun. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our first Civ 5 exploit. Go hop into a multiplayer game and ruin it for your entire friends and family. And hey, if you have a fun time, make sure to give me a shout in the comment section. As always, ladies and gentlemen, a massive thank you to each and every one of these glorious patrons who've generously donated a small portion of their own financial tea supply to myself, so that we can create glorious and fantastic content for you, the lovely ladies and gentlemen at home. And hey, I hope you did enjoy and like it. And if you sat there thinking, damn, this video was really good fun, I want to watch another one, then look no further than this one on screen now, hand chosen by myself to be just perfect for you. Trust me, you're going to love it. Anyway, I've been the Spiffing Brit, and I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have an absolutely lovely day, and goodbye for now.